Welcome back to the stream of consciousness, which to me a stream of consciousness, to you 2 days between them, which is a strange narrative device, but we'll go for it. Yeah, make sure we have an empty inventory slot to get whatever the reward is here. Ooh, yes, that's perfect. We still don't have a bow though. But one of the soldiers, a kind of elderly veteran, more older, more experienced than any of them, brought up the Battle of Covert, which basically was a battle inspired by certain spoilery scenes in Malazan that I'm not going to delve into, where basically 900 soldiers went into the city, none returned. Everyone there was crucified on the city walls, all of the enemy combatants on the losing side, and basically one of them used that as his argument, you know, saying soldiers should fight to the death, some bold words from someone who wasn't there and who didn't see that. And the player responded. The player just turned around in disgust, left and responded, "I hope you have a good view," when they start hoisting the crosses up here. Which, even though I disagree, I've got to admit, that's an excellent line. And so those were the two major moral dilemmas of the beginning. And in the final battle, which was the stupidest, most unbalanced fight I've ever run, it was like completely skewed towards one side, but you know, you can't really expect me to adequately balance a battle in which I do not know which players are going to be on which side. And yeah, one of the players who had some ulterior motives, being a warlock, chose to join the enemy. The others stayed loyal. And yeah. I just heard something. But yeah, in the end, the loyalists did defeat the. I should dig further, because this might be the cave I've already been in. And yeah, so it was a wild campaign, and the whole, like, you know, no dice rolls thing was just completely mad. It was awkward and didn't work too well, and I had to make a lot of rulings on the fly, but you know what, it was fun. And yeah, I think, and the other, I inverted a lot of structural tropes of D&D. For example, rather than them going into a palace in which the boss was just waiting for them, the boss actually came to them. I'm gonna turn my volume up. So yeah, the final boss of the campaign, they explored his hideout, his palace, tried to piece together some of his past, and once they'd done that for long enough, the boss just ended up coming to them and asking to talk to them and basically proposing his whole idea of, you know, we should fight on the same side. And yeah, so that was a lot of fun. And yeah, I think I'm done running anything quite that out there and experimental for now. I'm going to run some more traditional campaigns next. But yeah, I love inverting tropes. I love just kind of making weird stuff, and I think that is what I succeeded in doing with Divine Words. And yeah, it also contained the single most horrifying scene I've ever DM'd, in which practically the battle strategy of their enemies... Oh, I'm at Y46, what am I doing? Let's just head to the surface, you know what? let's find a deep cave from there instead of doing this. Or maybe find a player, maybe there'll still be some living spiders that we can kill for string. Because a bow is something I'm sorely missing at the moment. And we can make a stack of arrows, we can maybe get a kill. It's an enchanting table we really need, but... Personal Minecraft thing, I dislike... Yeah, I really dislike strip mining. I just find it boring. Okay, so Zev could still be in the area. I don't want to kill Zev. I really like her, but at the same time, you know, got to do what you got to do. And, you know, who's going to turn down a free kill? So yeah, and they went ahead, and the setup that Separatists soldiers were using was that they would have one mage and 5 kind of squad soldiers per squad. The mage would put up either a darkness spell or an altered version of the darkness spell to balance it out a bit more. They'd either put up one of those, or they would put up a they'd either put up a darkness spell. Oh, I love that. I love that the eyes are the only thing that's visible. That's so cool. Yeah, so either that or a kind of a dust cloud, just some spell that obscures vision to get them out of being consciously observed. The squad would then take advantage of that in order to fire off their perfect shots, which now they're not being consciously observed, they don't have to roll to attack, and they get automatic crits. And if the player taking the damage can't consciously observe like them being wounded, then we turn it to a max damage crit. Which, was wacky. It was certainly a way of doing combat. And so, one squad they came up against, they practically managed to kill the mage before he got a single spell off. The rest of the soldiers surrendered, because they knew that they were outmatched, they were barely trained, they were fully reliant on the mage's tactic. And they knew that without it, there was no way they were winning. So they ended up just, I wonder if someone's down here. But yeah, they did end up kind of, surrendering. And the players, after these soldiers had surrendered, completely in character because of backstory reasons and the like, the players executed the remaining soldiers one by one. I made them play through 4 rounds of just the soldiers not fighting back and then just executing them so they could feel the full horror of what they were doing, and they went ahead with it. And that scene is genuinely the most uncomfortable I've ever been while DMing, and the most visceral reaction I've ever had, because it was chiefly the work of one player who was practically had a philosophy of war is, if you're willing to fight a war, you should be willing to die for a war, and took great issue with the fact that they gave up as soon as their single trick had failed. So yeah. Also, no spiders it seems, unfortunately. And yeah, that chilled me. I think I'm going to take a lesson from that player in how to write a compelling villain, because I hated that character more than I've hated anyone else in D&D in my life. And it was incredible, honestly. Like, it was a horrifying scene, but it was incredible. Also, I think I'm going to try and find another cave now. Is that one? Oh. Ooh, hello. Don't hit me. Just give me your string. Okay, stingy. 16 bottles of enchanting. Ah, there we go. Okay, so it does drop, yeah. Let's just... I think we might as well just use these now. I don't know, I know you... Actually, you get reduced XP from, like, a certain level onwards, so... But then again, it's an inventory slot, I don't care that much. Let's just use those. Nice. Okay. And yeah, so... Divine Words, the players played as the villains, the final boss of the campaign came to them, it was a complete... There were dice rolls not happening was a mechanic, it was a complete inversion of what you'd expect from D&D, and I'm proud of it. Like, yeah, for such an ambitious concept, I think I pulled it off about as well as you could expect yourself to. Okay, let's just dig down here. Yeah, so... that is the story of Divine Words. And yeah, I don't think I've done... Yeah, then other than that, the other campaign I've run recently was, I ran a fun little campaign called The Rage Mage, which was it was another somewhat experimental one. It was my attempt at structuring a campaign similar to a comedy, more like a comedy than a, actual, you know, than an actual serious story. Have we been here? Yes. Have we been here, though? There's no chance this is someone else, is there? It's like right where we were, but I don't remember any real layouts. I think we'll go and try explore this a bit more. Problem is, there's no real way of getting a sign of whether this was me or not. Like, I don't think I particularly have any tells for how I place things. I don't know. Someone in the UHE community probably knows. Probably would be able to figure out who this cave belongs to purely by how things have been placed around it. But alas, I am not one of those people. I don't remember going down a ravine that looked like this. So let's continue stalking for a bit. Close call. Too many mobs here, I don't like this. Baby zombies. Okay, yeah, we're out. I don't like this cave one bit. I don't like the potential for another person. I don't like the, I don't like all the mobs we're getting out. But yeah, Rage Mage was largely, as all of my stuff nowadays is, it was largely inspired by Malice and Book of the Fallen. So it was practically, there's one particular duo in the most recent book I finished, book 5, who are they have the very British wordplay style of humour. I practically made that duo the villains. And they, yeah, so I structured a campaign as a comedy. Oh no. Okay, I thought I blew it there. Quite literally, in fact. But yeah, I structured Rage Mage as a comedy, kind of a lot of irony, a lot of the secondary villain's motivation. I was struggling for ages to come up with the motivation of a character for tricking them. He was pretending, basically he sent them on the quest, then pretended to not be him, to join them on the quest in order to stop them from fulfilling the quest. I spent a while asking myself why anyone would ever do that. And the conclusion I came to was that he just messed up. He just, had a really bad... He just had, like, a really bad... He messed up giving the quest, which was meant to be for an ulterior motive of his boss. His boss wanted his tower cleared out of minions, but did not want them to interrupt the evil ritual he was doing. So, the boss asked him to do that. He accidentally told them to go all the way to the top of the tower. So then he joins them and kind of ad-libs an absolutely terrible argument, trying to convince them that the quest was never actually to go into the top room. And yeah. It was funny. And then the boss died in about 2 hits after failing every single saving throw. Someone has been here, in the not too distant past. If I see someone, I am going to attack. My sword is not called Dragnipper yet, but that can be, that can be a mercy. Very recently, unless this became unloaded, which I suppose is equally plausible. Okay, another spider. I really want a bow. That's the one thing I could really do with at this point in the game. 1 string. What did I drop for that? I dropped... Don't drop that. I am very absent-minded sometimes. Okay. Let's dig up some gravel here with a bit of caution, because, well, we know that there's been someone in this area at some point. And yeah, I'll be consistently looking around. But yeah, 2 more string for a bow. It's bad when you can keep track of exactly how many spiders you've seen so far in the game. Nether is on. I do not think we'll be doing that. The Nether does not end well for me post UHC. But yeah, so I think we'll have enough flint here momentarily. Yeah, I mean, we just need enough for all the feathers we've got. And yeah, then I might just head over further this way a bit and then head down, try and find an unexplored cave, which I should be far enough away by now to be able to, but I don't really like being this close to the border, so just give me the rest of the gravel. Okay. Yeah, I don't like being this close to the border, but it might be unavoidable. Okay, too many mobs for me to go looking for apples. Anyway, we've officially, well, in 53 seconds, we've officially made it to our goal of getting past episode 3 with no damage. So that's one goal for the season finished. Yes! Thank you, game. Thank you. Wow, you... It'll be really funny if none of these drop anything. That's 2 with nothing. Come on. What? The prophecy's about to come true. Yes, okay, we have a bow. Perfect. Do not take damage 13 seconds before you've fulfilled your goal, George. Okay, we'll follow that cave down in a second, once I've made my bow and arrows. We should also grab a bit more wood while we're here. because we're running a bit low. Okay, end of episode 3. See you guys next time.